Doing it now. Right, I'll see you in a bit, Deb. See you later, Em.
Bye.
Have a cockerel. Anybody there not once for yes and twice for no? Is anybody out there? Is anybody out there? What's happening? The live is on. One on and one come up. Who they know who's up going. It's thumbs up. That means push the like buttons. 1 on and 3 thumbs up. This is unbelievable. It was like this all through the night. 88 on, 600 thumbs up. Glenn Cobb. Hello, Glenn. Great lad. Jonathan Carlin. Hello, Jonathan. Anthony Lone. Another great lad. Sam Westfield. Evening, brother. Got a bit of a scampy. 23 on. Don't forget to push the like buttons, guys, as you come on, which is a thumbs up, which means you like the channel. Just to do the little idiot's heading. Not last night, the night before, it's got nearly 150 likes in less than 24 hours. Unbelievable. And I think the other night's got about 130. Scotty 1994. Good evening, mate. Hope you're okay. Yes, had a great day. Yeah, great. I've actually been sleeping. I sleep on the bed with the baby, Eli. He strained his paw the other week. You remember he's groin. And anyway, we've got some tablets and that for him, and he's had them. And he's been asleep all day on the bed with me. Monty 16. Good evening from Northern Ireland. Up the Irish. Steve Mack, how you, son? Hope you're okay. Good to see you today. Lee Canwell. Hello, Lee, son. GC Mac. Freedom. Pastman, my first time on your live. Hello from Ireland. You're welcome, mate. Ian Beals, Jelly Deals. Yeah, he's all right. He's been to sleep. Just been. He's that fucking big, and he's not even 20 months old yet, and he's that heavy. She said I think he's about 4 kilo overweight, but he's not an ounce of fat on him. He's just full of muscle. It's unbelievable. People don't know these dogs. He's unbelievable. That dog. He's beautiful. His face, his markings, the way he stands, his ears, everything are perfect. His teeth, everything are brilliant. Really, really. His mum and dad were cross champions. His great granddad parents and everything. So really good. Pedigree comes from. She got it. Emma went near Wales. It was. She went to get him. Right down. She was out. She took hours to get there, hours to get back. She loves him there. Like it's just like a little bully. He's a little baby. He's my baby as well. Don't forget to push the like buttons. Just 16 thumbs up. Come on, guys. This is you 57 here. 40 odd years not even pushing the like buttons. 55 on. So. Bit of news to tell you about the fucking crank again. The fucking fake stupid authors again. He's at it again with his that fucking Ebenezer Greensplat. We all know that's you. Gary Smasher, we all know that's you. That was the ones that was sending the message, Gary Smasher, when my windows got put through. When my windows got put through again, you get new windows put through coming from Gary Smasher. And we know it was you, Tinfoil, who did it. Because we got the fucking lad who did it, and we got his phone, took it off him, checked his stuff, and we seen your phone name it on his phone, telling him what to do and how much money. You got £500 for smashing one window, you got £500 for smashing the other. You give them, then you paid them another £500 it was to firebomb the car, and then you give them £750, but you never paid that to them. And I found out who they were in 20 minutes. I knew who done it because they were in Billingham. They were in a bingo place talking and mouthing off. Oh, we done round Cockerill house now with a van, and he told him, and she, like young lads and that, 15, 16-year-old kids the way who smashed the windows and done the house. What? I knew where they live. I know the mum and dad's house. I know the car. I know how many kids are in the family. They've got 7 people in the family. And the other one who pinched the bike, he got caught off the lad whose bike it was, and he kicked fuck out of them and bolted them all over. So 2 of them got annihilated within a couple of days. So you ran away because you were going to be next. That's what was going to happen to you. You were fucking next, you little fucking scruffy little tramp. So you ran like a little coward and shit yourself, and you ran off and left them kids and got the kids to blame. You're just a horrible, evil, twisted man. Don't forget to push the like buttons, guys. 66 on, only 19 thumbs up. Country and Truth. Boss, hi, Brian. I don't think you should be on, you. I think you're a bit of a divvy. Yeah, Country and Truth. Country and Truth, boss. Yes, Trap Lad. Deals. Jonathan Carlin. Where's Trap Mafia? I haven't seen him for ages. Sam Westall. Key Commander. There's my pal, Key Commander. Love that man. See him there. He came straight out to my house. Do you know that night when you come, Key Commander? You know the wood you left, a bit of wood, and you were sawing it up and you were putting my windows up and you put them up for me. The other lads come, they did a half decent job, but he did a brilliant job. He made them all solid because that's what he does for a living, you see. Ex-army lad, lovely lad. When you come round, he has injuries as well, like me, fucking, so he knows where I was coming from. But he put the windows were smashed by that fucking little skip rat. And he came round, fixed the windows. So what they've done, Key Commander, the cops come for me a few days later. Fucking full squad of them. 2 of them had firearms, 2 had tasers, and 2 had what's them other fucking things they had? 2 had tasers, 2 had firearms. 2 of the women there, them that fucking TS gas things. So they come in and there was loads of them. There was 3 vans, but you could only see one van outside because when the camera on my house followed that car, it only follows the one in front. It won't follow the one behind. If the one in front went further up, it would follow the other one afterwards. But in the end, they were all over the fucking place. So the armed response come. They got 9mm. There was a left-handed one, the right-handed. Now, why they do that is one will be the left-hand side. Couldn't come on the doors and all that shit. And obviously, me being arrested for firearm offences, attempted murders, shootings, kidnapping, fucking over the air, shooting at nightclubs, pubs, whatever. You've heard most of the stories. Oh, guys, 80 on, only 20 thumbs up. Come on. And so, what happened, Key Commander? The cops come and they said, right, you have to go in the van. You've seen the state of me. I can hardly walk. So I'm there, virtually paralysed. My right hand still terrible now. I still can't grip nothing with that right hand. So they put me in the back. They went to put you. I don't know if you've heard this. So they went to put me in the back of the van. I couldn't get in because I couldn't put my foot on the back of it and then push myself up because I was too tall. And I didn't have the strength in his hip to push with, and there was nothing to grip because the back of the van. It's just like that. So you can't put your hands on nothing because they just shut the door behind you. And the door shuts. The handle from the outside. There's no handles outside. They're like a special thing. They click in. So the cop was holding my hand and he's put a fucking piece, the yellow things what you put your bottles in like them, and then you've got another one, a green one, like a box. I'll stand on that and go, so I'm about 19 stone, I'll fall through that. He went, no, you won't. I was stop messing about, that's what I was messing about. And for a fact the injuries I've got. So he made me stand on this yellow box, Key Commander, and I fell through the fucking box and after he broke my fucking ankle. I said, I've told you. So he got the wood with Key Commander left and put it together and made a fucking ramp from one. Got another box, the yellow one, the green one, put it on the back of the box, put it onto the back of the van. I had me walking up the van like this, like a fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, like did like something at the circus. Anyway, I was coming up and it again, he went, oh, this is a nightmare. So then he got another 4 or 5 pieces of wood, stuck them together. The third time I got up, but I could have fell out the back of the fucking van, could have fucking snapped my neck, killed me. Don't give a fuck. So we sued them now. Ever put in to sue them, does Mr. General MC Raw Dog. So now, yeah, hope tinfoil gets better. Therefore, so 78 on 24 thumbs up. Don't forget to like buttons. So we sued the police. We're still on investigation. It must be on, but 6 months next week. So a week today, it's been 6 months. Since, not the incident, since I've been been arrested. So 6 months ago, I got arrested for it. No charges, nothing. He's saying, I've done this to him, done that to him, I've done this and done that, and I've threatened I've been to his house and threatened his 13-year-old son with a knife and all that, and I'm on the front with a knife and I'm threatening him. Like, oh, fucking shit. So when they've checked it all, he said, oh, it was just his wife made this white statement because she was frightened. It's all come out. He's made the statement. I'm not allowed to go near him. I'm not allowed to go to Stokesy. I'm not allowed to go near his wife. But it doesn't mention the kid. So there was nothing to do with the kid. He's just doing that to try and make me look bad. And you all know me. I would never threaten a kid. Never in a million years. And what the fuck would I need a knife for? To go up there for that scruffy, fat, greasy fucking divvy who's never had a fight in his life? Have you seen the fucking state of the tramp? Absolute tramp. So, yeah, how you done, love? You're okay? So why would I need a knife for you? You fucking moron. Moron, you're a moron. So now he's been putting this Gary Smasher, I'm going to get you shot. Like somebody got killed years ago in this area of someone whose dad's who's on here, I won't say the lad's name. And he was threatening him, Emma, you're going to get the same as what this happened to you 30 odd years ago. And you're going to get blah, 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 blah. And so it's got a picture of Emma with her head blown off and a shotgun being discharged on the person. It's somebody else, but it looks like Emma. And he's putting this as Emma Cockerill. This is what's going to happen to you, Emma Cockerill, what happened 31 years ago in Middlesbrough. So that's him. Gary Smasher's that daft little cunt. So last night, I drove him into a trap because he kept putting shit on all this stuff. Anyway, in the end, the daft cunt, about 2 or 3 in the morning, he had me up all night. Oh, fuck you, I'm not giving up here. I drew him in. He went, I've got Gary Smasher on you. I've even had a screenshot of the lot and give it to him. She's got all the screenshots. So Gary Smasher, the one who keeps up the videos, Ebenezer Green's flat. They're all aware of you now. I've warned them. I've told them. I've marked you. I've marked your card. I've marked your card to these and let them know that you know that they're trolling you. But it's you daft little cunt. You're trying to pretend they're different people. It's you and your wife. It's you and more pies, piggy eyes, pie shop. It's you and pie shop. Kids up pie shop. She ate all the pies. All the money went through all the money. So now you've gone bankrupt. Your house is gone. That's getting took off you. You haven't paid a penny for that. You've also lost the shop in Brenton's lost the shop. Brenton sold his Rolls Royce. So they're cleaning shop. They're getting rid of everything. Warcry pubs and Warcry Press don't even exist. They're even companies now. And the other one, Rubik's, what you had in 3 Ballingate Pontefract, where you were selling the books and making them and printing them. You tried to go to another book company away, but they contacted me and said, no, we're not interested. You want to do the Junior Winter book with them, and you want to do another 2 books. The Jack the Ripper book, another one, 4 books you presented with them. And you tried to go to an audio place to do the 4 audio ones, and then they said no to you. So twice you've been knocked back now. So everyone knows on Amazon what you are. And no one, after what you did to Mighty Joseph Turner, tortured that old man in his twilight years, stole his book and every fucking penny apart from £50.33 you paid him over 4 years. You are one horrible man, and you're still at it. You're still mentally deranged. Hangman ordered. I tried to text you earlier on, son. Hi, everyone. Love you a bit, son. Yeah, he's just totally deranged. So last night he was walk the plank. Yeah, fucking walk the plank. You know, like fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. Fucking Johnny Depp wants me to be in that next. Or if I say that, he'll be saying, now he thinks he's in Johnny Depp. Everything I say, I'll say something like that. I could drink 4 of them. He'll put, oh, now he can drink 4 bottles of water. Everything I do, he's recording and splicing it and chopping it and cutting it and putting. He's fucking totally deranged. I was just speaking to my mate Baz about 10 minutes ago. He said he's definitely. There he is, a bit of Barry in his chair, but he's definitely robbing an old man of for crack pipes. Exactly, mate. Nice at all, not nice at all. Tinfoil. It's every man and his dog and his crack pipes, aren't you? You just can't stop taking drugs. You're even your wife. Christmas Day, he went, he's making me take cocaine. It's burning my nose. You can't in front of your child. You're the one abusing your son. You're the one taking drugs and alcohol all day long, screaming out windows at people. Police turn up all the time. You're the one. That's why your son's going to the army. Get away from you. He's told his friends and son, I'm getting away from that house. It's insane. That's every other night. They're screaming at each other. They're out windows screaming. Your own son's at school telling his friends you're driving him around the bend. So the kid's going to go in the army and get away from you. You can't. You're absolutely insane. You're mentally ill. You're definitely mentally ill. You're going on people's things, threatening. Look at you said about the 8-year-old little girl, Irish Bull's little daughter. I'm going to grape your daughter. You're not right. So here's the great one I've got for you. So Paul Sykes written a book called Fine Agony. I don't know if he's known this. So what's happened is I've got the Jen here from Wakefield of people down there. Now his sister was from Wakefield. Sorry, his sister was from that way, Wakefield. And Doyle, Scruffy Cunt, went and seen. He said, "Oh, if I do the book, I'll give you 50% of it." So she went, "Okay then." So they got the book with a dodgy solicitor, Brenton and him, and they got the sister to sign the book over somehow. And it cost £200 to give the dodgy solicitor. So they got that. Then they had the book. So they promised the lady to give her 50% of the book. So she then went and stayed at his house. This is on the Jimmy O show. So when we were on the Jimmy O, he said, when when Paul Sykes used to go in the pubs, he used to go in, and he's laughing at them, saying he used to make them stand on the pool table and sing dickety dot, the mouse ran on the clock, like 25, 30-year-old bloke with his family, with all his mum and dad all sat there crying because they were getting bullied and they couldn't do that about because he could have a fight. So he wants to be like him. This is where I'm coming from here. This is how he's become what he is. He wants to be Sykes, and that's what he's become, Sykes. Sykes lived as a tramp under a library in Wakefield, and the kids dragged him out, and he was also in a skip, and they poured petrol all over and set him alight because he used to go in the field in the school parks and flash himself to the kids in the playgrounds, flash his scouts to women and children in the playgrounds. He got done. He was older. He got 60 odd. He got done for that, and he got done for 25 offences in 3 months, and he pleaded guilty to it, and he got a 2-year ban away from the city of Wakefield. He was bad out of the city for 2 years, but he come back and broke the Asbo and ended up going back to jail because he loved jail. So when he was in jail, before he went to jail, his dad used to train the box. His dad was a sadistic bully. So he became like his dad. And he was the same with his own children. People have been telling me today on the phone, he battered his own children. He used to come home with women. And this is where he's getting it from, with the prostitutes and everything, the fake author. He used to come home with prostitutes, Sykes, and this is, the fake author said this in his book and mentioned it on Jimmy O. He said, he used to come home with women. He'd come home with women and make his wife sleep with prostitutes, or he'd sleep with young boys and make his wife watch him. This is what Sykes used to do. This is what it was. It's a narcissistic, horrible, evil, twisted man he was. But his wife, he actually got her pregnant when she was 15. When he was 30-odd-year-old, he used to pick her up from the school. So I've had a text today of someone saying, in his own book, and I thought he meant Final Agony, where he wrote, in the book, Sykes written, he went to jail, and he was in jail 21 years out of 24 years. He was very intelligent. He was very clever with writing and stuff. But he loved to rape young kids. There's no other word for it. He used to rape kids in jail. He was a no-nonsense. Screws have come on here. Prison officers have come on, and they've all said the same. Brian Cockerill's telling the truth. I was a prison officer for 30 odd years. And everything he said about Sykes was true and more. And that's in Liverpool, Armley, and fucking Strangeways, and then Durham. All them jails, he was raping kids. And I know for a fact he was doing it. Promise you, on Emma's life, on Eli's life, he was doing that, and he knew he was doing it, but he didn't want you to know this because no one would buy the book. So he pretended, it was said this happened and all that, but you knew, because on the show you said when we went to Newcastle, I know I've told you this. This is how I know you. No, put it all together now. He knew all along he was raping him because he said, "Can I just play the part where I get bummed in the cells of Paul Sykes when we're going to do a 3-part documentary?" So then I said to Stephen says, I said, "He knew all along them kids were getting raped. Why would he say that, knowing that he was bumming people, and he used to have sex with them, put a page 3 girl in the back when he used to rape them?" And he said, "It's bad this, but it's funny." How can that be funny? How can that be funny, tinfoil? Raping people, but then you're on about raping Bull's daughter, you're on about raping my wife multiple times. You said, "Emma, you've got to rape her. You've got to rape her while I was in jail in a wheelchair, paralysed. You were offering me out when I was in a wheelchair. So I've offered you back out. You're a fucking shithouse. You've run away from Teesside. You put my windows so tight, I'm still here. You firebomb my house, I'm still here. You put firebomb my car, I'm still here. And you firebomb my fucking garage, I'm still here. You've run away. I'm an old fucking man, and I've chased you out of my own area. You daren't come back because you're a fucking coward, and everywhere you go, you're getting battered. So you've been chased. It's now 9 times or 10 times you've moved now in 12 years. It'll be the 10th time because you've compromised the place in Newcastle. They've moved you somewhere else. Now you're in a job in a chemical factory, making £10.35 an hour. That's what you make. 5 days a week working in there. Chemical fucking alley. So that's what you've become. So what you've done is, all that money you made, hundreds of thousands of pounds, you thought it was going to last forever until I come along and sussed you out. But getting back to Sykes, so Sykes did 21 years out of 24 in jail because he realised what they're called as sexual predators, like a shark. That's where the shark comes into it, and everything fits together, like, you know, when you see serial killers in that. So Sykes liked the power of being, not the sex mainly, raping someone, just making them do what he wanted to do and do sexual things to him. And he loved that power. Like you see serial killers, you'll see them. They have that same MO. They might kill somebody on a Tuesday. It's raining every Tuesday. Might have a red Mac on and a white cap or something, or they might have a fucking yellow scarf or something on it, and they strangle them with a yellow scarf or something. So it's the same MO. So your MO is the same as Paul Sykes. You've become Paul Sykes now. You've got a thing called MPD, multiple personality disorder. You want to become these characters. You have now become Paul Sykes. You have become that creature from the Black Lagoon, that evil, twisted man who raped young kids, and you laughing about it. Paul, Peter Fury, and Johnny Phillips, I think it was. Johnny Phillips. Not Johnny Phillips. I think Johnny Nelson said Sykes died an horrific death, and rightly so. What he did to people in his past, he deserved every single thing he got. What he did to people, I mean, the kids, he raped them. So when he got out, when he was out of jail, he'd go around the parks and go, "Hey, you, it's a 16-year-old kid, come and suck us off. Hey, you, come give the blowjob. Hey, you, come wipe me off. And this is you talking, Doyle. And you come and deliver us, and you're laughing and laughing and laughing about it. And I was sat there looking at you thinking, that was the day I finished here. I thought, fuck you, you're just a vile human being. Don't forget to push the like buttons, guys. And you were laughing at these people doing this. I had Gypsy John, Simon Page, Mike Western, Tommy, Hugh Hardberg, Simon Page. Fucking hell, he's welcome on it tonight. So this is what I'm getting to now, guys. This is how he's become. Yeah, and friend and both listening. Yeah, thank you. Turns out, Donna, yeah, Cumbrian tooth, aka Cumbrian. He's a fucking divvy. Cumbrian tooth. Cumbrian fucking knock his fucking tooth out. Little shit. He's Jamie Doyle's best friend, right? And Decker Higgins, his other best friend. So they're all the wrong-uns. If you work it out, the wrong-uns are all together. They're all paedophile, fucking rapists and nonsense and like hurting children, dirty bastards, and backing somebody up. But no, like as soon as I found out he was laughing at kids, him, and laughing at children. That's why the IRA lads and all that alleged over an island, fucking threatening going into there, laughing at kids being raped, and laughing about it and bringing heroin into Ireland. Not an hour, what's they said? No fucking chance. You'll get 4 bullets in the fucking head if you come back. So he's been chased from there as well. Down the falls. One of the fat stupid companies on a bike, and nearly got his head blown off that weekend. They were that close to killing the cunt. That's how close you were, you fucking moron. And you're doing it again. You're doing it again, shouting your mouth off because you're a crank. You think you're safe in your safe house. These people can find you on computers anywhere. The last time you did it, you screamed in your house, you ran up the stairs. Help! All it was somebody was walking by the house and somebody jumped out the house. I think it was the kids, what you would. Them ones where he find when they've done my house on the motorbike. He owed them 750 quid. They went to his house to get the money. And he seen them and thought it was fucking these Irish lads. He's going, I'm going to shoot me. So he ran up the fucking stairs, ran through the living room, the passageway, ran through the dining room, ran up the stairs, ran in the bedroom, she said, barricaded the door. She phoned the police. 2 police cars come out because I know the girl across the road. And they're all lads in the corner, John, my mate. He said the police came and they stayed for 2 days. 1 car stayed for like 2 days. And then 2 cars stayed for 2 days. Then 1 stayed for another day. So it was like three days they were there. They came on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They went to Tuesday night. And you phoned the police. But you locked your son downstairs and your wife downstairs and barricaded yourself in the bedroom. You got all of the bed because she's telling the story. He's barricaded himself in the room to the police. You had to tell him. And he's put his feet against the bed and pushed against the wall like that with his feet and holding the bed against the door so nobody could come in. Barricade that to kick the door in the place to get him out. He's going to hang himself, but that's what you play. You play this thing called the victim. You do all these things where you're torturing people, and when people fight back and do something, you get that much intoxicated. Your mind starts frying where you don't know where you're at because you've been on the drugs for 5 or 6 days. You're on diazepam, you're on Subutex, you're on fucking alcohol. When you put that combination of all them drugs together, it makes your fucking head fry, and that's what you do. You fry your head, and every time you do it, you go out and you have people out, you want to fight. You've been doing it in Newcastle on the buses. You pissed the bus 3 times on the Newcastle bus. You've only been up there a fucking couple of months, and you've been chased out of there. Everywhere you go, you've been not allowed to go on the buses no more. They barred you off the buses for pissing the bus, pissing the fucking bus. You piss the bed every night nearly because you get that much drunk and that much drugs. You get up every day, Subutex, straight away. You're on Subutex as soon as you wake up out of bed. Best that she's at work, your wife, and you're taking that shit. You've got a 15-year-old kid in the fucking house when he was 13-year-old when I knew you. I went round and threatened the 13-year-old kid. No, I don't think so. But let's get the kid Why isn't the kid give the statement to the police then if I'd done it? He'd do a statement with social services or his mum and dad. So why didn't he make a statement saying Brian slapped me with a knife because I never done it? And you didn't dare put him on. Because the reason why he couldn't put him on, because that kid couldn't lie to save himself. He's not a liar like you two fucking scumbags. Thank you, Timmy B. So now, this fucking thing, it all makes sense now to me. It all makes sense because I'm into psychology. I've been doing it for fucking 20 odd years, studying it and fucking books and reading it and everything. So you want to be that character, so you have become him now. You've become him. So you're hated like he was, because what they used to do, they used to go and put dog shit in his head, and they used to crack eggs on his head and everything when he was too old, couldn't fight. But what he used to do, Sykes, he used to go in like a playground, and he'd go in with a big daft hat on, so the young kids would go, "Oh, look at that stupid cunt," but he could have a fight then, and you get up and go bang, 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 and knock 5 or 6, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids out. Think he was clever, sat there drinking bottles of cider. But the other day when you got on the bus, 2 weeks, 3, 4 weeks ago, you got on the bus, you had cans. 2 weeks ago, you got on the bus. And a week ago, you got on the bus, I think it was 10 days ago. It was a Sunday night. And that night, you were on cider, white lightning, which is the cheapest. Emma says it's a cider that's never seen an apple in its life. Pure fucking toxic shite. So you can't even afford a decent drink now. You can't afford your whiskey, your brandies, and your Bacardis, because Brenton sold his Rolls Royce, which is your boss. He sold it, and the judge told me he would do this. They're selling everything. You sold the books. They were 15 quid down to 1.99. You've sold them down to 99 pence, and now you've given the last few away. There's not one book on the internet. You've gone to publishing firms to try and publish your books, what you've got in the pipeline. They don't want to know. There's no Brian Clough book. There's no Paul Sykes movie. There's Junior Whitney. I think he's pulled out the book. Alex Reed's pulled out the book. They've all pulled out the books for you because they all know what you've done. And when you've done that to Mighty Joseph Turner, you've turned everyone's stomach doing that to an old man who was fucking nearly 78-year-old, or 77, 78-year-old, tortured that man for 2 years, 2.5 years, I think it was. Tortured him because he asked for invoices the same as me. You tortured me, my wife, for years, and you're saying we bullying you. No, darling delights. Thank you, Sam Page. So you've been found out now. Everyone knows what you are. So you'll never, ever in your life write another book. You put a thing on yesterday. I'm writing 100 books. You haven't even written the books. Paddy Maloney written his own 2 books. Bob and Dave written their 2 books. Joseph Martin written his book. There's 5 books. So when you did 7 books, you hadn't done 7. All you'd done with them was you got them. Paddy Maloney asked you to print them for him. You put your own fucking name on his book, and Paddy said, "What are you doing? That's my name." You did the same with Martin Joseph Turner. You went and took Marty's book when he was poorly and put your name on his book. It was Marty's book, his book. He written it. All he wanted you to do was print it and charge him whatever it was, say £2 a book, £3 a book for printing it, so he could sell it himself. He was going to put it on the internet himself. You stole his book when he was poorly in hospital. He had COVID for 3 or 4 weeks. He was bad. You stole the book, took his name off and put your name on it. You did the same with Paddy. Paddy had to buy the books back off you and reprint his own books. That's what you are, low-life cunt. Cost him £900. You're up in. No one's been paid. None of the cameramen that did the documentaries. Another thing, he did all them documentaries. No one's been paid for the documentaries. No one's been paid for the audio books. No one's been paid for the Kindle books. You've kept every single penny. You weren't happy making 63%, and we were making 37%. You fucking wanted all more and more and more, because the more you were doing it, I think, no one's going to know. And I said, look, I'm not being disrespectful, but it's been 2 months and I've only had 36 quid off you. I said the first book I did with Steve Richards was 2000. I did one with Jugger. I never got paid for that. I did that as a favour. It was called Street Fighters. Then I did one called Viv 3. And I did one called Scottish Hard Bastards. I was on the front cover of that one. So when I did these books with these people, I would get like an invoice every 6 months saying Inland Revenue, how many books printed, what ISPN number they are, how many books are in the shops, how many books in the libraries, and W.H. Smiths and Waterstones and all that. So when I got a thing off you, it was just a load of shit, piece of paper just written on in ink. You give Terry a contract, Delroy Showers subject, crossed out with pencil, and written over the top of it, Terry Dicko. That's the shabby, fucking pathetic attempt of a contract. So when you never paid us our money, it's called a breach of contract. If you were working in a British Steel and they said, right, you're going to be working on the Big Dipper machine, or whatever it's called, big dumper machine, right? You get £25 an hour on that, but the little tractor, you only get £5 an hour. So if you come and say, I think there's a mistake here, I've only got £5 an hour when I work on the big fucking big heavy duty one. Oh yeah, we made a mistake. So it was obviously discrepancy. I thought they'd made a mistake. I asked you for months and months, 2 months. I asked you, and on the third month, I said, well, if you haven't given me Sam Westerly, all right, mate. If you haven't given me the invoice for Jamie, I'm going to have to go to court. He said, oh, no, you can trust me explicitly. And it was a Saturday afternoon. I remember, my memory's fucking shit hot. Yours isn't. And I asked you again, you no, I'll get it for you, don't worry. He's going to be, and then when he asked you, but I could look at the book, he said, oh, you can't look at it because it has to be printed. The reason why you done that as well to me, with the book, I never got to read my own, proofread my own book, because you said, Rob's going away for 3 months. It's going to be 6 months to a year before he gets the other book. He's got all these other books lined up. So you can't read, you can't proofread it. Just trust me and Shirley. She went, oh, it's all brilliant, it's all done perfect. But you know why you didn't want me to read it? Because you knew I hated paedophiles, because my brother was raped by one and hanged himself when he was 38. You knew I wouldn't put Paul Sykes in. So Paul Sykes is in that book, piggybacking on my book. Oh, and also you can buy a Paul Sykes book off War Cry Pubs and War Cry Press, which we established in the courts as well, that War Cry Pubs and War Cry Press weren't even companies. They were just made up for you. And the lady who's doing my stuff on the Amazon, she's on with it. She spoke to us today, said, yeah, they're on with it now. They can't believe how they've been doing it. They've been doing it for years and years and years. So Brenton, his boss, has sold the Rolls Royce. He sold his fucking shop. He's got rid of all the books. I've got rid of all the fucking audio stuff. There's nothing you can buy now with his name on in them shops. Nothing. And he's tried to do 4 books the other day, and then they said no. And he's got somebody else and tried to do them on audio, and they went, no, can't do them. We're not doing no more with you. So he's been knocked back by different people, and I've been sure by somebody down London said to me, Alex Reed's pulled out the book. He's not doing it. He's not doing the book with you. And I don't think Junior Witt is interested because he's Edward's at the party, because them boxing lads know stuff. They're not stupid. 135 don't get pushed. The like button's only 48 on. What's going on? Andy W. Thanks, Emma. So it's getting back to Sykes. So Sykes was in the cells, and he would go in the jails, and he was raping these kids, constantly doing it, and he loved the powers. But when he was in there, he fancied the school teaching. Now, I really learned this off Jamie Tinfoil on the Jimmy O show. You'd have to watch the Jimmy O show. So I'll tell you anyway. So we're on the Jimmy O show with him. So he's going up, and he's full of fucking powder. He keeps running to the toilet and all that shit, and he's going there. Can I have a break? I need an anxiety break. He was doing, and Jimmy looked at me and went, fucking, and knew he was on again. The camera went, he's off his tits, him, sweating like fuck. His eyes are massive. Anyway, but it took him 3 hours to do an hour interview, and I did mine within about an hour. So I said, tell you about this, guys. I know you're not stupid. Anyway, they said, you think you'd just waited till later on the night to have the party, whatever. Jimmy said, because it's important to come on here and do it properly. And I did mine. He said, the best person I ever interviewed was Brian Cockerill, loveliest man I ever met. But he twisted Jimmy. But then Jimmy come back and said, 2 years later, he said, Jamie and Shirley used me to bully and troll Brian Cockerill and Emma Cockerill. He said, that's official topic talk. He said, they've used me then to bully Brian and Emma now. He said, I realised what they've done. And Jimmy was like pissed off with him. He says, I won't be doing nothing with them again. And Jimmy said he's done that with him since. He said, really, I got bits and bobs of work off them. He said, but they've used me. I've seen exactly what they've done now. They've used me, Brian and Emma. Haven't been trolling me. It's been them. So even Jimmy knew in the end. But Jimmy was all right with us. He's not a bad lad. But we all got hoodwinked off him. I got hoodwinked. So Sykes, like I say, Sykes was in the prison. So he wanted to, he was in jail. He obviously liked women as well. And he liked young girls. So in the book he writes, the words were his words, not Boyle's. This is in fucking his book. I like schoolies meaning school kids. So Boyle says on the show, when he was in Blackpool, he was the best swimmer in the world at the time. We know it was a load of fucking shite. And he always has to have him the best at everything, the best boxer in the world at the time, the best fighter. You fucking idiot. So he said that Sykes got a Kessler, I think it was, award because he fancied the teacher. She was obviously a woman teacher, and he fancied her, and he did the book, and he won that award. But in the book, he mentions the schoolgirl. So he says then, Boyle on the Jimmy O, when he met the 13, 14-year-old, I thought he was going to say like 2 young kids who really liked him, or boxers, or like somebody saying, I've met kids like 12, 13, 14. You went, can you get a picture, Brian? All right? You'd be nice to the kids and get a picture with them, and fucking might go fucking sit down, talk to me in a shop or something like that, like when I've been out doing book signings and stuff. and make the day and get a couple of pictures with the kid. He met the 13 and 14-year-old. And I thought, please don't say it. And just you know, in your guts, you feel it. And he said, and he was having threesomes with him, laughing about it. And I was looking at a 13 and 14-year-old child, he's having threesomes, and you're saying he's not a nonce. Then he said, then he met the other girl who was 15, Kath. He got her pregnant. And then he met another girl, and he went to Brighton, he went on the run because he killed someone's cat. He strangled the fucking cat. And he's laughing about the cat being strangled. Then he killed the other cat in Liverpool. So 2 cats he's killed. That's a serial killer. What they usually do, I was just fucking itchy with Eli. He's been sleeping with me.
One piece truth that said, Brian in his own book, Sykes said he wanted a virgin schoolgirl, and after Kath realised she wasn't a virgin, so went and had an affair with her schoolgirl mate and admitted he would be sent over it.
Fucking hell, there you are. Did you hear that? What happened is, in his book, he said he wanted a schoolgirl virgin, but when he went to Kath, his wife, he should have been his wife, and he realised she wasn't a virgin. He got a schoolgirl friend and had sex with her. Who was the virgin.
The lads just put it on them.
Yeah. I think that's the same. Larry's been texting me today. He knows everything about him. Said he was a fucking vile, dirty bastard, and so he wanted a schoolgirl virgin. So you knew, Boyle, you fucking animal. I've proved to everyone what a fucking beast he is, because he got that book off his sister. She signed it over. They got a dodgy solicitor. Emma will tell you. We found out, and it only cost us, because Dale told us. Dale was working in there with them. They got a dodgy solicitor, and it only cost them 200 quid. And they said they'd give her 50% of the book. So there you are, guys. All this time he's telling you it was never proven. I spoke to a policeman. It was never proven. So Paul Sykes' own book, From the Grave, has caught you out, Boyle, you fucking little dirty bastard scumbag you are. So you knew he was sexually raping kids, because you said it on the Jimmy O show, 13, 14-year-old. Now he's had the 15-year-old girl, thought she was, that was the end of Catholic called her, realised she wasn't a fucking virgin, and then went and shagged a fucking mate who was a virgin. So there's 5 school kids, but that's what we know of. So how many more like Jimmy Savile was there? So all the ones I was telling you from day one, I hope you believe me now, it's in the fucking book, The Final Agony it's called, or Sweet Agony, Sweet Agony I think it's called. And then Boyle changed the next one to The Final Agony, but it's the same book written by Sykes, and he's just regurgitated loads of shit and put his own spin on it. So there you are, guys. Monty, thank you very, very much. He's been texting me because he's been reading the book. So Boyle then said, I've read his book twice, and I've watched I've watched his documentary. I'll say it again, watched his documentary 132 times. That is fucking pure obsessive. And that's what he's like with us, obsessed with us. So all you guys out there, and all you people who've not been believing me all this time, go and get the book, Paul Sykes' book, not the one that Doyle's written, the one that Sykes has written, and it's in the book that he wanted a schoolgirl virgin. So he had sex with a 15-year-old, thinking she was a virgin. She wasn't a virgin. And then he went and got a friend and had sex with her who was a virgin. But he also was having threesomes with a 13 and 14-year-old girl about 1974, I think it was, in Blackpool, when he was a lifeguard there. Dirty bastard doing that. And so there's the truth. It's come out again. So you've been fucked again, Boyle. The Sykes' own book has buried you. So you've read that book because you said when his sister come to stay with him, this is how deranged he is, fucking Boyle. B-O-I-L. I want a Boyle on your ass. The boily bum. That Tommy Boyle. Or Johnny. It could be Johnny Boyle we're on about. Or Andy Boyle. Or Donna Boyle. Or fucking Boyle on your ass. So 130 on 52. Thumbs up. See what I mean, guys? I told you I would never say somebody's a fucking rapist or a nonce. Never in my life. Unless I was 1,000,000% sure. I wouldn't like anyone to call anyone that word because it's a horrible word to do. But the thing is, you can get YouTube, report me. I'll send the fucking book YouTube to YouTube. I'll screenshot the page where he says it and what he is. That's what I'll do. I'm going to get the book. I'm going to get it sent to my house and I'll read it out on here to you and you'll show you what a vile bastard this fucker. So he knew all along he did that because what happened? This is the kicker for you. His sister, he said on the Jimmy O show, said, I'll tell you about what really happened. She said, well, I wish I had a normal human being for a brother, a nice, big, strong brother, and not the rapist who used to rape me every single night. He used to rape his own sister, Paul Sykes. He went, I can't put that in. Yeah, because he knew if you put that in, no fucker would buy your book. So he kept that out, didn't he, Jamie? You kept the bit out about the young girl that he just had sex with, didn't you? You kept out the 13 and 14-year-old, didn't you? You kept that out. You kept out Kath out, didn't you? Not being a virgin. and then the other one's, and he's had sex with the one. So you knew all this time. There's 5 different people, the 2 schoolgirls, the one the virgin, and the cat, and the one with the fucking cat. There's 5 different kids he's had sex with, and you're telling me he's not a nonce. He's not a fucking paedophile. He's not a rapist. What is a rapist? A rapist is someone who had sex with somebody under 16-year-old, anyone under 16, whether it's a boy or a girl. And that's what he was doing. So all that time he was doing it because he loved it. He was a predator, like a shark in the water. And that's what he done. He went around bullying people in pubs, everywhere he went. He had a fight with a lad called Terry Mitchell one night, and Terry Mitchell fucking smashed him to pieces, battered him all over Leeds. He never, ever went back to Leeds after that because he shit himself because Terry was going to do him again. And that's why Terry Mitchell battered him, because he was a nonce. That's why they were all battering him, people. But in jail, he was the king in the jail because it was just like normal people in jail. So in there, he could fight. He was knocking kids out, raping them. Screws were frightened of him. He was a pure bully. He knew. And like I say, he was clever. But when Jamie Boyle got hold of Jamie Boyle Thompson Smith, got hold of the book, he got her to sign it over. He said he'd give her 50%. So she come and stayed at his house. This is on Jimmy O as well. So I thought, anyway, I'm sat there and I'm on the side. He's that side where you are. So he went, oh, when she come, he said, there, she went, there's a spiritualist I went to see, she said. But this is him making this up, pretending about the sister going to see the spiritualist. So the sister went to see a spiritualist. She went, oh, there's a really big man with a mustache. Well, we know that. We don't fucking know who he is. And he's massive. He's got massive hands. He's like a big gorilla. He's huge, strong. What he's done to you is that bad. I can't divulge that. But why would you tell her that in the first place? You're making her up, fucking daft cunt, divvy cunt, scruffy cunt. You're making her up. So you're there knowing he raped his own sister and what he done to her, and you still went ahead with the book. You knew he had sex with all these kids and you went ahead with the book. You know why you went ahead with it? You and Fatty Yates works for the City Advice Bureau. You would have fucking disgraced you. You want sacking you. You want sacking from that job, what you've done. Putting fucking rapists in books and glorifying them and letting people making people believe he was this big tough guy. And he shit himself when I offered out in fucking Wakefield. Twice I went and offered him out. And his ass went. He was a coward. So you knew all that time now. So I've proved to everyone. So in the book, you knew. In Jimmy O, you knew. And you knew you didn't want no one to know that he was a nonce. Well, I've spoke to a police officer. They said he's been arrested for every single thing. He's never been committed for sexual offences and this, that, and the other. So what? Jimmy Savile never got done, did he? Jimmy Savile, we all know what he was. But you knew what he was because you've read the book. You had the book in your hand. You had the property. If that was me and I got that book and somebody said, right, you can make £1 million, but you have to lie and pretend he was a good guy, I'd rather burn the book. I did the same with the Duffy book. I give it away. I give it away on the internet so you couldn't write it because you're fucking vile telling lies about Lee. I would have paid Carol and all his family. You went, you can have 60% of the money. I went, it's not to do with the money. It's to do with the lies you're telling about Lee. I'm not selling my mate down the river just for money. But that's all you think about, Charlie, and it. Piggy fucking eyes for the pies. You've been found out, Fatty, now haven't you? Fatty Yates. Oh, fucking carry on eating, she is. Never stops eating. So all the money's gone. The house is gone. The kid's going to fuck off and leave them now. The kid's going to the army. He's fucking off and leaving them. His mum's fucked him off. His dad's fucked him off. His brother's fucked him off. His sister, his own ex-partner, won't let him near the children. Why is that? Why is that? Why will they not let you near the children? Red flag. Why will they not let you near your own grandchildren? It's fucking something wrong with it. Why would your own daughter not let you in the house? And why would your own sister badge out the house? Because you're frightened her. Why is your mum scared of you? Why is your mum scared? Because you used to go and bully, your sister said, and your fucking ex-partner. He's a pure bully because Paul is his, Paul who lives with us, battered you 3 times, which is a boyfriend. You're bad out of all your own family houses because what you are, you're not allowed near the children. Why are you not allowed near children? In your own family, not the people on the street. I wonder about your own family one that you need them. Yeah, because they know exactly what you are. So you've written that book. So his sister's in the house with me, said. He sat there and all of a sudden they're sitting there. The next minute, I'll do it with the bigger thing. She said, nobody's going to believe this. They're going to think I've gone nuts. I've gone crackers. I'm mental. I'm deranged. Well, you fucking are. You are deranged. So Paul Sykes come to your house. The ghost of Paul Sykes. I'm like, fuck off. It's good. I'm telling you, honest. The ghost of Paul Sykes lived in my house for 2 weeks while his sister was there. We were sat there, me and the wife, And that bottle just went like that, across the table with the glass, he said, and it landed on the table like that. Your son Jimmy Oakes here. And that went, do you see that again? He's right, I seen it. And he's like trying to make us believe, he's fucking off his head, like his eyes are like an eye, fucking like an owl, pure black eyes he's got off his tits, me man yucca with him. So he said, Paul Sykes' ghost was in my house. I said, the next minute, the typewriter started going like poltergeist. He was doing all this on the table. And it went, it's me, Paul. Jamie, write my book. It's me, Paul Sykes. That's what he says on the Jimmy O show. And Jimmy's looking at me and the cameraman, and I'm looking at Manjak. Me and Manjak, like, we're behind this big post. I think it was a building where they've had cars, they're like a big, like a concrete post with metal on it. They've got them, and I think it's been a car lot where Jimmy's got a place. And we had me on this big post like this, and he's in front of him. I'm like, well, you can't stop, you're like biting yourself and trying to stop yourself laughing. I'm like, fucking deranged. So he went, the ghost of Paul Sykes lived at my house, so I had to phone. Oh, and that was it. And he went, ding, 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 ding. He said the bell started ringing. Like a boxing bell. He said, I haven't got a bell in my house. And I just looked at it, I think, you're definitely away with the fairies. You are definitely fucking loopy. So this is all can be backed up on the Jimmy O show. Go and have a look at him. He's got a greeny yellow top on talking. The ghost of Paul Sykes lived in my house, and he had to get a priest in, a Catholic priest to exorcism his house. What a fucking crank, honest. So all them years now, Jamie, you've been selling them books and you knew that Paul Sykes was in London. I've just found out tonight. I'm absolutely off the moon. I've been able to prove tonight the truth. All these years he's been selling that book, pretending Paul Sykes was not a nonce. But that lad's just come out Monday. He's got the book. He's reading the book. So he's going to keep divulging stuff. So I'm going to get it myself, and I'm going to read the passages out to you to prove you're buying the book on Paul Sykes. You're buying a book on a paedophile. That's what I've been telling you all along. And his other mate, Delroy Showers, he's a fucking nonce. That's the other book he's doing, Delroy Showers. That no one's going to do that book because he's a fucking wrong'un as well. He used to hold them down for him to fucking shag them. Dirty bastard. He was going to do a paper like he's all nonsense. You're obsessed with nonsense. Because why? We all know what you are, don't we? So you knew all that time. You knew about that fucking. I didn't know about the 15. I knew about the 15-year-old, the 13, 14-year-old, but I didn't know about the virgin one. So that's good news. That's good. No, bad news, but it's good to know that he knew. I've spoke to police officers. I've spoke to. Well, we know that you're never off the fucking phone. It's called 999, Jamie. So all this time, no, he wasn't. He could have a box. He could box. Don't get me wrong, he could box, but it was never fucking. You know, like a street fight. I smashed into people. I went offered him out twice. It was 1991. I went through a gas side. I offered him out, come outside, and he was about. It was he just had his last. He had 6 months before he got his last fight, so he was still fighting for it because it was about July. I think it was June, July, he had his fight, and it was about 2 or 3 months after that. So he was still doing 10-mile runs and stuff and fighting, and he had a fight. That was his last fight in 1991. I do believe Jamie will probably let you know. But all that time, you knew he was raping kids, and you were saying, no, you've got it wrong. You've got no, it's all bullshit. He said this, and the screw told me. I said, I was in the jails when he was doing it. I was never in jail with him because I smashed his fucking skull in the daft cunt. It might have beat me in the ring, but never have beat me in a fucking street. Never in a million fucking years. I went through him like a hot fucking knife through butter. The rage in me. When I fight, my eyes go pure black. And I just can't be stopped. I can't be stopped. I just keep coming forward and I just won't stop. Like a fucking lunatic. And the rage comes in and that anger comes in. It's just fucking won't be beaten out in a street fight. But not by any fucker in my day. I'm nowhere near what I used to be. I've still got that thing in me where I've fucking never backed out on anyone. Never in my life. Carl's on. Paul's on. Johnny jumps on. Yes, all this time. To me, be your son. Pissy Paul Sykes, the ghost. No, it wasn't Paul Sykes who was pissy. It's him. He's pissy, mate. Timmy B. He pisses himself. Jamie Doyle. He sits and pisses himself. He'll go out. He got on the bus to go to London, to go to Delroy Showers, and he pissed the bus. One of them big, them, I can't really call them, stagecoach buses or something, like the big long ones, big massive ones, where it's just one way to London. And he pissed the bus on there. Then he went to Paddy Maloney's, and they were doing a documentary with Les Peacock, and he fell asleep at that, and the thing, snoring like a fucking pig, and threw up all over the fucking place. I don't know if it was Paddy he threw up, but then he did it in He went to Delroy Showers and threw up all over his settee. And he went to Dominic Negus and threw up all over his settee. Fucking smacked out his head. Every single time James English, same as James went, he's up his fucking heat. Fuck's sake, man. Can you got no decency? Because James had come all the way from Scotland to see us. I was the very first person they could get on a show who people would watch, if you know what I mean, because he had other people he'd done books with in the area. But they weren't big names. They might have been biggish names in Teesside, but to do books worldwide, you've got to have a massive name. And that's why, I'm coming down straight away with the tax man. Big Brian, fucking, I need bother. Straight down, James. I think it was a Saturday we phoned him when he came down. That's Eli, must be getting better. Eli with his toys. Eli! He's getting better, isn't he? He's throwing things around. So all that time he knew about these books because he's got the patent of the book patent in it because he bought it for £200. And guess what he gave the sister? Have a guess, anyone. Can anyone guess what he gave the sister? Not one fucking penny. Nothing. I know what he said to me. He said, she gave me about 200 pictures and I'm kicking myself because I give them back. He's going to steal. He said, I could have put them in a book and made another book out of pictures and made another 2 or 3 books. So he's even going to rip it off. He's going to steal the woman's photos of treasured memories of stuff. But obviously, she said he was a fucking nonce raping her. And he still went, no, if that would be me, I'd have went, here, come here, love. I'd give it a cuddle. I'd have been fucking the crap. But make things that make me fucking sick. Can't do it. It's like with the League Duffy book. I went, no, I'll give you 60p. And I said, no, it's nothing to do with that. You're telling lies about Lee. It didn't happen. You weren't there. You were in school. You're 9-year-old when he died. You never wrote down his fucking, what, on your fucking BMX? Fucking ET. Fucking rode down and all the police were there. And no, you weren't. You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. And you did it around the road with Sean Atwood. I don't think Sean Atwood realised what he was doing. But you had him down there and, the blood was punching. How can you smell blood from fucking 2 or 3 streets away? You just talk a lot of shit. Absolute shit. You didn't know nothing about who was there. You didn't know what names were there. You didn't have a clue. I knew because I was with Lee. And when I was in jail, I was with the lad who threw the petrol on him. He told me that full story. You didn't even know that properly about Tapper, young Tapper. Tony Tapper was his brother and Dave Tapper was the other one. He didn't even know the right names. He didn't even know Lee's height. He didn't even know his body weight. You didn't know fuck all because you never met him. You never met none of them. You never met no one. You never met Paul Sykes. How do you know I never offered him out? You weren't even there. 1991, you're a fucking crank. And all the shit you told me with the ABA champion. You say, Maxine, you fight 3 times, you got smashed to pieces. You never had a fight. It was sparring sessions. Fucking divvy. And when he chased you, you ran like fuck, allegedly. You ran like fuck. You outran him. You outran him, that scared. Your fucking diarrhea was running down your fucking legs, still running down your legs. Now you're in a factory handling chemicals. Fucking chemical alley. Chemical boil. Fucking hell, imagine him in there. 143 on, guys. Come on. Let's push these like buttons. There's 60 thumbs up. So all this times I've proved to you now that he is a fucking nonsense. Walton, well and truly, it's in his own book written by Paul Sykes. I think it was 1970 something. So Sweet Agony, I find like, no, Sweet Agony's Paul Sykes' book. In there, I like schoolies. That's what I got told today. You fucking knew along. And then when his sister told him that you knew when his sister went, he used to rape me, come in my bedroom, rape me when I was like whatever age. And he said, I wish I had a big, strong brother, what he was, like somebody I could look up to. Not exactly them words, whatever words to that effect, but not the monster that used to come in my bedroom in the middle of the night. Hey, you little tyrant. Feared him, open the door up. He's heard me shouting, he thinks somebody's trying to get me. He's opening the door. Them tablets you give him stays all right. Can you give me a couple? Huh?
You have to sell off,
yeah. I said to Steve, them tablets are doing all right. Can I have a couple of them?
Come on.
Look at him. Fucking hell, he's wrecking the fucking place.
Come on.
See how he done there? He put his full paw on the door and opened the door up. You taught that, don't you? Scrappy do.
Get out. One.
He just put his opened the door up. On the sides of him. Come here.
Oh, wait,
see the ladies and gentlemen see you. The lovely people see you here. You big bull terrier. Wasn't there?
Right, all right.
Woof. Look at the size of that. Look at the muscle on it. It's only 19 months. You're only a baby, aren't you, kid? Did you nose? I bet it now. What are you going to do? How can you smell now? You haven't got a nose. If that nose, you'd look, you know, somebody said to me, what would look well and wild? You would hang it off his face, wouldn't you? So all that time, Emma, you knew her about the girls and everything, because he's got the book and he stole the book off them, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's the agony book.
Out.
So he knew, didn't he, Emma, from day one, what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing, him and Shirley, so they could keep the money, because no one would want their...
You got it off Paul Sykes' own book. He won a Kessler Award for it, and they got a dodgy solicitor. Well, Brenton did, and paid a dodgy solicitor when it went out of print.
There you are. £200 it cost him, and then he never gave the girl a thing. His sister, she's changed the camera a little bit. I'm going to move it up a bit. So he died, and even said out there, she just told you the full stuff. Come on. What a fucking scumbag, eh? So you knew all along, you dirty, filthy bastard. Scumbag, low-life bastard. What do you think about that? Any comments off anyone? Yeah, my hands. You can tell me hands about Tanya. It's cleared 2 years after a big fall. Mine cleared 2 years after. No, mine's fucking nightmare, mate. I've had 6 vertebrae taken out, 6 put back in plastic once. And I've had the fucking cut me. I've had spinal stenosis C2 to C7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was full calcified bone. You'll know about the stenosis. And then I had to have 2 titanium rods with 2 bolts at the top, 2 at the bottom, 2 nuts at the top and bottom. And I was like 8 nuts and bolts on my neck. And he's wanting to fight me while I was in a wheelchair, mate. Yeah, Scrappy was a legend, Simon. So he wanted to fight me while I was paralysed, couldn't talk. But I had a big massive ulcer on my mouth where they had the tube. I was on the hospital table for 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 40 minutes. And it took me another about 2 hours to wake me up. And he's wanting to fight me. And then he's threatening my wife while I'm in hospital with a catheter in, tubes in my mouth, fucking heart monitors on, all different fucking wires and all sorts all over me, wanting to fight me after I've had a 4.5 hour operation. But they passed out and they had to bring me back round with the fucking jump things and that and put these space blankets on me. And that scumbag's offering me out for a fight while I was in hospital, and then said, Emma, the lads who try to rape you from Gisborough coming to get you soon. That's what he was texting her every night. So Emma barricaded herself in there with a table and chairs, and I'd Scrappy with her because Scrappy was here at the time, and was shitting herself because he was saying they're coming in to rape you. She's petrified, couldn't sleep enough, and had a total mental breakdown she had to him. The fucking scummy he is, the vermin he is. Threatening a women to rape women, threatening little Irish, but not little Irish Bull would rip his fucking spleen out in 2 seconds. But that's all he does, go to the police. So he does all these things, he calls people. But all this time, I never knew you fucking knew this. I knew you knew about the daughter being raped because I was there when you were telling me. And I knew you knew, I know that shit about Paul Sykes' ghost in your house. I know that was all made up off that shit about the fucking ghost living there. That absolute deranged, you know. But that shows you how deranged he is. He's got ghosts living in his house. Type in the book, and then he says, when I walk past the Blues at Ramsey's, I can hear Lee Duffy whispering me, keep writing the books, Jamie, keep writing the books about me. Fucking devastated, the books you're writing about them, the fucking shit. Yeah. So all that time, he knew about that, and all that time, there was never any proof. Yeah, there was in his own book. So it's all come out today for the first time. You've seen it on the Taxman show today. Paul Sykes finally found. All of us tonight have found out by thank you, Monty. I'm going to get the book and I'm going to take it out and I'm going to screenshot it and I'm going to send it to every country, all over the internet. Paul Sykes nonce. So people don't buy that book because you're buying a book, you contribute, and I know the people have already bought it. You can't do nothing about it, but you contribute to a paedophile raping young boys in jail because he did it on my brother's grave. He did it over and over and over again for years. But Jimmy Savile, he got away with it. So Sykes did it in the jail. So when people get raped like that, a lot of people are embarrassed to say have been raped. They don't say nothing. Then you've got a big bully at 15.5 stone to a kid in jail, maybe fucking 14, 15. Because in the old days, when you went to jail, years and years ago, you got allocated to the Durham, say, and then you'd be in there for, say, 6 weeks wait to get allocated to a Borstal. So you put you in Durham first, you'd be in the A-wing, which was like the good order and discipline, the non-swing, and it was for the YPs. YP means young prisoner. And Sykes was the YP, where the YPs was. He was the big cleaner, and he used to go in when they would say, oh, I was going on a visit, and he'd go in and fucking drag them in a cell and rape them. He was known for doing it, and he used to say, do you want it the hard way or the easy way? I'll knock you out and rape you. I'll give you £50 back if you let me do it. And that's what he was doing in jail. I've said this from day one. I've always said it. And everyone, when we went to a do in Bishop Auckland, tough lads up there, and went, that site, he went, does anyone know Paul Sykes? He's a fucking dirty fucking animal, screaming. One kid said he tried to rape my fucking nephew. The one said he tried to rape my fucking cousin. My cousin ended up taking an overdose, and that was Davo's nephew. It was cousin, sorry, Davo's cousin took an overdose in jail because he got him in jail, tried to fucking make him suck his thing today. I won't mention the things he was doing, but that's what he was trying to do. Rambo, Taxman, the legend, and the man who can lift cars, absolute man mountain of a man. Thank you, Rambo, son. But one thing I don't like is bullies. One thing I can't stand is fucking people who sexually abuse people. Because my brother was raped, like I said, and he knew this cunt all that time. I'm not devastated, but I knew what it was. But the proof always comes out in the wash, doesn't it? It's an old saying, especially in the northeast. The proof always comes. Proof's in the pudding, and the truth always comes. It always comes out in the wash. My dad and mum say it's an old-fashioned thing from the war, because when you put stuff in like handkerchiefs and all that, it's in the wash. Well, I've lost my sock, or there it is in the wash. It always comes out in the wash. So it's come out now. So you're famous, you're a great big hero. You use it young boys, but that's what you're into. You were into them because you got caught in bed with Paul Sykes' son. He was about 16, 17. You were about the same age. You got caught. And then you got caught off your dad in bed with another bloke. And then you got caught in bed with another lad who was Park End. You got caught in off your uncle and he threw you out. You come home, there was a spillage at work. I think it was sulfuric acid. You come home early and caught you in bed with a crack pipe smoking it. And you told me that story. Me now, Bobby, so I can prove that as well. But you got kicked out, and that's why they won't have in your house, because of what you were doing. And that's why your daughter won't let you in either children, because you're wrong. And that's why your fucking sister won't let you in, or your mum. Your own mum locks the door when she sees you. You show me one picture of you and your mum. There's none. You did a little thing the other week where you went with Shirley's kids. One of her kids had a kid, and you stood there pretending you got the baby, trying to be all a wolf in sheep's clothing. Look at her, I've got the baby in my hand here. You didn't fucking, you've only ever, you them two girls you threw out Christmas Day and you had to get the taxi home from Harrogate, and the dad barred them girls from going back to your house. They've never been back once. Only when you go away, right? You went to London and Shirley was in the house, and Shirley said, I've just seen Brian Cockerill put my windows through and pegging it down the road like mad. Well, how can I run down the road, Shirley, when I was in a wheelchair, paralysed in my house with 5 carers a day coming in, catheters in me? How did I run down the road with the catheters stuck in my leg, full pee coming out? Me fucking pee. I couldn't pee. I had no strength in me stomach and off, and I had the massive 2 operations. I had one in North Tees, and then 2, 3 or 4 months later after another one. So they said, you've had one, you're having another one. So it's going to be dangerous because of your age and that. So I said, I'm just going to go for it. So we did it, and I was in a bad way, fucking really bad when I was in there. I lost 38 pounds of muscle in 3 weeks because I wasn't doing nothing, just laid there, couldn't eat. And there were tubes in me. I was just getting water. There was no fucking food going in my body. And Mickey Harrison's missus, I forgot her name, she'll kill me. Lovely. She was there. She worked there as a cleaner. And when you get your food off her, Shelley, I can't remember her name now. Lovely girl she is. Michael, loved them a bit. Great people from Groveville. Great. Basically, people from Groveville are lovely people. Absolutely lovely people. My dad's from Groveville originally. Groveville was the poshest place in Middlesbrough at one time. Honestly, had big, massive gates. Like fucking when your door was like that, big, massive gates, that used to come in. It was beautiful. I'm not saying it's rough now, but it was right. It was one of the best places what was done when the council did them. They did that. That was one of the main places. And Brian Clough's from there, and he said he was doing the Brian Clough book. So the lads from Groveville went, you're not coming to Groveville to do any interviews. But my dad used to go to school with Brian Clough. My dad was a better runner. My dad was a brilliant long distance runner. Brian Clough was a better footballer, but they were both in the football team. And he used to play football with everything in the school. So my dad knows Brian Clough very well. My dad's 70, nearly 80, I think my dad is nearly 79, coming up for 80, I think he is. And my dad knows all these characters. My auntie was Ayresome Park, where the Ayresome Park was. They used to live on that road there. And I used to go there. My auntie Eileen and Richard, we used to go to the Borough matches when I was a kid, because we lived on the A19, just near Hartlepool. And we used to go get the bus to Middlesbrough, to the depot, the big depot in the centre. and then we get a lift off Richard, pick us up in the car, and we go to his house, and then we watch the match, and we go for our tea afterwards at my auntie's. He doesn't know fuck all, he doesn't know now. Johnny, thanks for you. It means more than you know. Well, crossover, yeah. So that tonight, what that lad's given me tonight has made me feel great because I couldn't prove it. I could only tell you what he's saying, and he just fucking lies. But all that time, so what he used to do, I forgot to tell you, son. So his words again, he said, when he used to be at the house, he used to batter his wife that bad. Oh yeah, fuck, that would have took his head off, that one, wouldn't it? That would have took his head fucking clean off. That's sitting down, no power, nothing in it. Definitely getting better. Seen Steve today. Steve, man, he's a good kid, you know. You fucking better behave yourself. I just told his daughter. He knows. He knows I'll go fucking mad with him if he does out. He's doing fucking marvellous. Changed his life around for me to fucking do like I did, get in a fight, and could fight for fun. But not worth it. And he's done marvellous. He's got a 14-year-old daughter. He's brought her up for 14 fucking years. You can't do any better than that, doing that for your daughter. Staying in, not going out, doing drinking, going anywhere, nothing. In fact, everything in to bring his daughter up. And she's a beautiful kid. He's a beautiful young man as well. What he's done to bring his daughter up, she absolutely idolises him. His mum's a lovely lady as well. But, you know, it's good that. And he was fucking trying to bully him, but he would snap. And I said, don't you fucking do what you used to do, because you'll go to jail, you'll get 20 years up your ass, because that scumbag will get your life off. And you won't see your daughter. And I talked about it because he wanted to fucking do him in as well. Not kill him, but batter him. But yeah, but one punch off you would be like fucking a train hitting him. Be like a normal person getting hit by a train. He wouldn't survive one punch because his fucking face is all brittle where we'd get punched in the face, jaws broke, and everything, just still get back up and have a fight. He couldn't do that because when you're on that smack, your bones are all brittle. I've known loads who've just had a little bang in the mouth and they've died on it because the bones are all brittle. So his face inside his bone structure won't be like ours because we eat proper food and everything. He just eats shit and drinks all day and sniffing Subutex. Subutex is a pharmaceutical heroin. So all this time he knew. So when he was telling me the stories about Sykes, he knew all this time Sykes was raping these kids. But I've realised now, when you get it in, sometimes you can watch a film 100 times and not get it, and I'll say, I know what the fuck it is now. It's him. He's done it because of this and because of that and because of this. And you can put it together like the police do. And that's what's happened now. It's come together now. He's done this because he likes people to be hurt. He likes listening about people getting raped. He likes nonsense and paedophiles. That's why he talks about Jimmy Savile. He said Sykes used to work for Savile. Sykes worked for Delroy Showers, another wrong. And Sykes worked for Dennis Flynn. No, Dennis Flynn worked for the BBC. We all know what the BBC are. And fuck them, don't pay your television licence. Tell them to fuck off. Tell Martin you don't have to pay it. You don't have to pay for television licenses. If you turn on, phone them up and say, I'm not watching the telly no more. I can't afford it. I've lost my job or whatever. Or you can turn on and say, look, I don't watch BBC Live. Or you watch Time Tees. I only watch BBC. Say you watch EastEnders Live. Or you watch a sport programme live. Or you watch the news live. If they catch you, they can make you pay. But they can't because they can't get your fucking house. But you just say, well, I watch it. So if you're in a house like mine with the curtains just shut there and you're watching telly and they couldn't see it anyway. So there's no way they're going to be able to find out you're watching live television because there's no light. There's them van detectors don't exist. There's no aerial detectors and all that. It's all shite. It's all made up. So if you turn around and say, I only watch the BBC second, like the EastEnders, the second one comes on, I don't even mention it. Just say, I don't watch BBC programmes at all. I just watch normal telly and I watch like Netflix and stuff like that. That's all I do. Watch Netflix and videos. They will then give you for 4 years exempt. You'll £156 a year you have to pay. That'll be exempt for 4 years, and then in 2.5, 3 years, they'll contact you again to see if you're still in the same situation. Say, yeah, I'm still in the same one. I still don't watch live telly. I just watch Netflix and I watch YouTube and things like that. I don't watch BBC. And I promise you now, just phone them and tell them that what I've just said, and see if I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. I know 100% because that's exactly what I do. I don't watch BBC. It's shite. Time in there a few times in the gym with the papers. Yeah, he's been great and he's something to be proud of. He is. Yeah. And the thing is, he loves doing it for her as well. And she loves him. You know, they get on great. But if he gets in any cheek and actually gives him a bat. Yeah. Yeah. So all this time there, I'm just stunned that all this time he's new. I'm just stunned in my head. I thought he's fucking new all this time, but it's all been about the money with him. It's always about the money with him. Greedy bastard. Every time we went out, he'd say, "Oh, I've lost my card. Oh, I haven't got no money. Oh, she's washed me. Oh, she put me. Oh, my wallet's in my other trousers. Oh, fucking shite." He never ever, apart from one meal, £6, and I saved him 15 grand when he went to the door, when he conned the door. He had me in there, pretending he had put my pole up. She knows I feel like. Dog hairs make me itchy. My nose, Scrappy used to nightmare. You can hear him in there ragging things about. He's so fucking strong. He's unbelievable. Like that. Bullseye of fucking Bill Sykes. So that's what he is. So Sykesy got a Kessler Award for doing the book called Sweet Agony. That's it. And he's written the other one, Final Agony, and Final Agony 3 or fucking something. He's just all shit for the same. So he stole somebody else's book. Put most 80% of the stories of Sykes. So Sykes has a fight with 2 lads. You'll see he's had a fight 8 lads. He embellishes everything. He makes it bigger and bigger. And because he makes it bigger and bigger, instead of telling the truth, everyone knows it's just shit. But all this time you've knew, because you've got that book, and you can read that book anytime you want, because you've read it 3 or 4 times, you said, and you've watched the documentary 132 times. That's an obsession. That's not a good thing to have, but you've got that with us. But you now are caught wanting again. I've found you out again. You've been caught out by the... You can't change history. That's what you try to write. You try to rewrite. You can't do that. You try to put things in books that aren't true, and you always get found out. Yeah, absolutely shocking. Just don't pay, mate. You just tell them straight. Tell them that you don't watch the BBC, and they'll obviously put you exempt. You put your postcode, your name, that. You tell them what you are. Nobody comes to your house. Even if they do come to your house, say, "Oh, well, no, you're not coming in. I've got a big dog in the house. Oh, my mum's poorly. My mum's really bad. She's fucking bad. She's on tablets and everything. Oh, my mum's got schizophrenia. She'd be frightened. She might attack you." They can't come in with the police or nothing. They cannot come in your house with the police. You can't do it. There's no way they can come in your house. But if you open the door, you open a contract. Then as soon as you open the door, same as bailiffs, as soon as you open the door for the bailiff, they can come straight. They can walk straight to your house the next day. As soon as you open that door, and when they put the foot in the door, that's aggravated burglary. If they're putting that foot through that door, over there, you will write and phone the police. Aggravated burglary, stepped inside my door, and I've told them not to come. If anyone pushes past you, even that much, half an inch, quarter of an inch, they put their foot over that door, that's aggravated burglary. If someone opens your car door and pulls you out, that's aggravated twat. Take him out under consent. 8 years you're looking at for aggravated burglary. That's what I was going to get with the Iceman when I kicked the door in, because I saved Chris's life and explained to the judge, who obviously got the charges dropped. He said, "Oh, that's another thing." He went, "Oh, it's all made up, that what with the Iceman. There's no such thing, 6'10", 20 fucking 4. So it's all made up." Well, it's not made up, because Chrissy Ireland was there. So was another kid called Danny. Another lad called Danny was in the car. Was a pizza delivery lad. Chris Curry was there. I was there. And we put out big Scrimshaw knows about it. The one next door was there. All the people in the street seen it. But I'm making it up. But Chris come on and told the story. Chris Curry come on and told the full story. I saved his life that day. And he's making it up. Here's Chris Curry to tell the fucking story. And we got remanded, me and Chris, for fucking 3.5 fucking months in jail for fuck all. So how can we make it up when I've got the charge sheets up there with then a man's name on and his height? The lad said, well, the Iceman's 7 foot. He isn't 7 foot. He was 6'10". He said the Iceman was nearly 7 foot. And then the woman next door, when she made a statement, said, "Well, the Iceman, I was scared to make a statement, but I've got the weapons because they did them next door in my house. But the Iceman's nearly 7 foot." So there's 3 different people saying he was 7 foot. Chrissy Ireland, the woman, and the fucking the lad who made a statement for us called Michael Johnson. They called him, same as the runner. So everything you do, I counteract. I come back with the truth. I just make you look like a fucking balloon, a big stupid balloon. Kevin Graham, right? You only need one to watch live TV on anything on the BBC iPlayer. Anything else you don't need the license. Yes, I'm right. So yeah. So you just don't watch the BBC. Even if you want to watch it, you can watch it. They can't prove you're watching it. They cannot prove. There's no such thing as fucking aerials. There never has. But even all them years ago, all it was a box that big. What that wide? What as big as this thing on here, this telly screen, big box, and on the top, Ozzy, my mate, used to come in a little van. They'll go around like like a fan for like an air conditioning thing type of thing. A fan going round, and that looks like and it has TV vans are in your area, license detectors. Well, you think about it. If you were in this area where I live, there's 21,000 people over here. There's 5,000 houses, so every house has probably got 2, 4, 5 tellies in it. How can they detect what tellies are in which houses when it's the VH frequency emanating, sending the signal out? But like saying, unless you have the code number, it's like phones, you couldn't get it. So that's how they catch you on a phone, because of your code. But you can't do it with television because it's VH frequency, total different frequency. So it's a load of shit. It's always been a load of shit. Then they scare you with these, but you must pay or you'll go to jail with a big red light. Warning, you will go to court tomorrow. It's just shit, throw it in the bin. Lying bastards they are. And they've been doing it for years. Fucking shite. Paedophile nonsense fucking running that programme. Poor Johnny fucking Rotten. He got kicked off he kept kicked off all top of the pops and everything for about 7 years for talking up in 1977. And Esther Ranson told him he was a fucking paedophile, Jimmy Savile. But he's got him down as his friend. He's got Yorkshire Ripper. He's got Sounds of the Lambs. He's got the fucking, what he's like with the fucking dress on and everything. He's like fucking Norman Boyle, Norman Bates, fucking with the fucking big knife with his fucking Shirley's dress on, running around with the dress on. Fucking weirdo. 133 on, 70. Push the like buttons. Tanner's on my away, my friends, God bless. Your son, so much. I get letters, they threatening investor you can't bolt, although not paying for. Yeah, you don't have to fucking let them in, mate. You can get letters all day fucking long. They only send you the letter because of your postcode, your area. So you're in the house, say 20 houses. So 15 people might be paying the license. Normal people will pay fucking divvies, I call them, paying the license for fucking, and then the other ones will get a letter saying, we know you're not paying your license, and they can tell that because you're not paying it because you haven't got the license. So they go by the postcode, but they don't hear if you haven't got a telly. I used to say, years ago, I work on the rigs, I've got a telly. I used to, 2 minutes, mate, I used to pull the aerial at the back, ready, could just come out. There's no aerial. Are we in if you want? Are we in? There's the telly. All I've got is, I used to have about 100 DVDs down outside the settee. I watch DVDs all day, I don't watch, I work on the rigs. I don't live at home. And I'm in my caravan most of the time. I've got a caravan up the lakes. They never come back. Don't come back. As long as you've got a good excuse, they can't say you're lying. They can't say you are watching that. And they used to catch you before, and because you're watching any telly, they do you then. But now it's got to be the BBC. It's got to be live BBC. If you're watching EastEnders, the second episode after it's like an old one from years ago, you can't get done for that. You can't get repeats. You can watch repeats. That's it. But you can't watch live events like football, like say Match of the Day, something's on. But if Match of the Day comes on early hours of the morning, you can watch it, or you can record it and watch it. I don't think you can record it either, tell you the truth. But you're not allowed. The only thing you're not allowed to do is watch BBC live events. All that money they get, 160 millions. And do you know what they do? I think they knock about £2 off for blind people. I think it's fucking disgusting. You just think, wouldn't you, there can't be that many blind people in the country. It's bad enough for you. Imagine one of the worst things you can be, blind. Can't see fuck all. You think you just say, oh, yeah, give them the fucking thingy for nothing. It's just terrible, even half price. Fucking hell. Charge, I think, £2 or something to knock off. It's fucking terrible. Yeah, that's what I said, mate. I just said I'd just use a DVD. I'll use a DVD for you and I watch. I've got a DVD player. I watch it. When it used to come out, I let them in there and I just showed them. I said, oh, there's DVDs, mate. I work abroad. I work on the rigs. I'm never here. That's why I don't answer the door much. And, oh, yeah, no problem. Just put you down and you get exempt for 4 years. Honestly, I'm trying. Listen, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But just trust me. I'm telling you now. I think it's 1 billion, Johnny Jump. But I want 20%, 10%. See, we've got a new job. We've got to get 10% of all these 1.3 billion. Fucking hell, I didn't know it was that much. I'm coming on the houses tomorrow. I'll show you how to do it. If I get you 50% off, give us 25%. Imagine getting 25% of 1.5 billion. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? Fucking hell. Yes, yeah, so all that time, he fucking knew that fucker was doing what he did because he's got the book. He's got the original book, but he sneaked off the fucking. Got a solicitor, 200 quid, and I got it, dirty bastards, and he knew. He wanted to have. Oh, yeah, so his wife, sorry, I'm going off there. So I've saved all these people that's money first, so that's good news, isn't it? I've saved all that money and I've proved the nonsense, the real nonsense. So when his wife used to come in and he'd go out drinking for days on end, come home with like a woman, prostitute, pay her, sleep with her, and make his wife have lesbian sex on the set and watch. And then he'd come home with young lads like rent boys and have sex with them and let his wife watch him have sex with young boys. He's a fucking animal. And that's what he's like him. He's weirdo. He likes all that stuff. Because he wants to be, it's not that he likes it, he wants to be that character. He's obsessed with him. You've seen him, it's all he goes on about. Big fucking pictures on the wall. So he probably dresses up as him, calls him Paul with a fucking strap of thingy to me. Weirdo. He's one weirdo, honestly, he is. And so the neighbours said every time they had to phone the police, you have black eyes, broken jaw, nose broke, ribs broke, the kids screaming, and the cops would have to come round and fucking nick him all the time. But he got jail apparently for that. He said, I know I'm going to go to jail for this, for the 14-year-old who was a virgin. Terrible that, innit? He's put in the book, I like schoolies, he's put. I like schoolies. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot because my hand's killing me tonight and I'm going to sit with my little dog. Thanks for everything today. There's the proof, 100% proof. His dad lives next door, but 4 to me is good when Brian's on the other week and the kids confirmed everything. Chris said, yeah. Chrissy Allen took me in the car. Great lad, Chrissy Allen. Absolutely fantastic lad. He was there. He said to Steve, Brian it, but he said he was fucking up me, a massive compared to Brian. I was only 18.6 at the time, 18.6. And I was fucking on the key and everything. I hit him this fucking right. What he done is he tried to go to the back door, but it was locked. This black lad. He was ex-Marine. And he wasn't that big when he was in the Marines. He just took loads of style. He got massive. Anyway, he was a minder for these Russian mafia fucking down London. And his missus was a prostitute and she had them on the game. They pinched the money off them and fucked off the billing them. And they were on the run. And he got done in America for 44 ounces of crack and grassed the Yardies up. So he was on the run. They moved him to England. He was in Nottingham and he got caught. Went to jail and so this last met him from Billingham as their son was involved in this. And anyway, I went to the house to collect some money for someone and he come out and attacked us anyway, but I bashed him. And he went and grasped me up, the bastard, went straight to the police, made a full statement against me. He said he was coming up with guns, they're going to shoot me and all that. So straight away, a firearm with me, obviously, because who I was. They fucking remanded me in court straight away. 110 days in jail I did for fuck all, for one punch. So he's trying to get out the back door, but there's no key. So he stood against the wall and he's massive, but he had no legs. His legs were like that. And he stood there flat right against the wall, so he couldn't move back. So I just went side there, and threw right uppercut, and he hit him. And I stood back like that, and he hit the table, a round table in the kitchen. It just smashed into a million pieces. You know, the weight of him, boom, the whole table. You know, you get you throw like a spark plug out a window and it goes boom, that type of where it smashes, or a car windscreen goes through. You can see it shatters. That type of glass it was. I just went all over the floor, and the other grass was up and got me jail. But I got off with the charge and went to court and just kicked it out. Cleveland police again, fucking scumbags. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot. An hour and a half I've been on, so that brings that to bed now, doesn't it? With that one with him, so proves 100%. I'm going to get the book. I'm going to get it sent. So that I'm going to go to the fucking place and get the book and read it out. Just to prove to every single one I've been telling the truth. I never tell fucking lies. I tell the truth all the time. You look like an idiot when you tell lies. That's why he keeps getting caught out. So these stupid things is going on. No, you're not friends with Dean Lynch. Not Dean. You've teamed up with. I never said the teamed up. I said Dougie Joyce befriended us. How you doing, big fella? You all right? I think your show's great. I said, I'm you, so love you a bit. And every now and then, Dougie will come on live. You've seen him all years. How you, big fella? You all right? The well, you know, he's got the phone. He said, Dougie's here. Hey, Dougie, son, love you. And he wants to go through and have something to eat with him and that, you know. So he said, I'm making it up now. He's a fucking crank. You've seen him yourselves. And Dougie will say, keep it up, big fella. Love you a bit. I say, love you too, son. Thanks very much for checks in on us every now and then. So I'm making that up now. Everything I fucking do, I'm making up. Hit the like, everyone. Yeah, Steve's telling you now. Can you have withdrew the limited rights of access? You can't an inch near, then send it in a letter official. Yeah. Yeah, so I had to fight with this fucking a bit of this right up because I dropped him. So I went to Ryan. Ryan was here as well the other week when Ryan was there. And he confirmed the story as well. Ryan used to stay at the house in the documentary with us. So I went to Ryan to stay there for 3 days. Anyway, I come here. And I went upstairs the next minute. There was 68 police involved in the arrest. There was a helicopter. The fucking whole street was caught. So they were right outside with all the, the fucking shield things and all that, banging them like that. I went, so opened the window like that. I was never had no drugs. I just went, I'm Spartacus. Come in here, see what I've got for you. Come fucking in here. Come in here, you fat cunts. I'm not preferring being black. I'm on about the uniforms. Because he does that as well. Says I'm racist. I've never been racist in my life. Most of my friends are fucking black. So I'm shouting out the window and going, oh, you fucking scumbags, come in here, what I've got for you. Like blagging, I've got a gun type of thing. Anyway, I've made a cup of tea. I've made a cup of coffee for myself. I've made 2 cups of tea and I put a few cakes on. I said, what have you got for us? Are we in? I said, no, let's move out of the way, let's see you. And I decided to go out and lay on the floor and all that shit. Got laid down, come in. What have you got for us? I made you a cup of tea, there's a cake. We'll fucking find them outside for about an hour and a half. Are we, Brian? There's no need for this. And fucking, I used to always make sure about a shower and all. I'm not going if I'm going to shower first. I'd let them make them wait for me getting a shower and a shave sometimes. They used to let me do it because they knew I'd be kicking off. Like them last ones all come, they went, we thought you were going to kick off. He said, you're going to try and wipe us out. I went, fucking paralysed, man. I've had 2 major operations. Fucking hell. So they come heavy-handed, thinking I was fucking the same person I was before. Obviously not. But you can't do nothing now. BBC needs to be subscriptions. Yeah, but you don't need to. You can have them at the door, mate. You still don't let them in. If you don't let them in, you just tell them what you do. You don't need to. You don't need to give them any details whatsoever. You just say what you can say is, "Oh, the order's out." If you're going to have people come to the door, you don't have to say nothing. You don't need nothing. I've had a license for 20 fucking years. I've never done that with me. All the order's out at the moment. They can't do fuck all. They cannot come in your house. They can't get a warrant off the police or nothing. They cannot do nothing. If you tell them that you don't watch the BBC, how can they prove you watch the BBC? They might come around here fucking to do this and do that, but at the end of the day, they can't come in your house. I like that one, Anthony Lord. Give him the dog license, only the dog watches telly. I like that one, yeah. Fuck that. Just say the dog stole the telly, it's fucked off with the telly. And that's what I used to use. I used to scrap me. I said, look, I'm not the owner. If you want to come in and have a check the telly on, you watch BBC. I don't watch BBC. I just watch, DVDs. But there's a fucking big dog, my brother's dog there, 10.5 stone. Scrappy, woof, 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 woof. Right, fuck. Oh, we'll just leave it. That's it. It'll just fuck off. Right, so that's the same with me. Ozzy worked for the TV fucking company for years. Worked for the TV company about 17 years. There was never, ever any such thing as detective aerials in them vans. Just a little fucking thing going on, like a fan inside. And then it would have detective vans are in your eyes. So, oh, we're going to get caught. We're going to... No such thing. It's all shit. The people are so gullible. They are. They're fucking so easy conned. Conned over anything. Right, I'm off. I've been on an hour and 30 minutes nearly. Don't forget to push the like button to 81. Could nearly get a 90, nearly 90 on here. 114 on still. You know. Johnny, good night, mate. Yeah, Timmy B. Night, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it's great news. We've got that. And so all that time he knew what Paul Sykes was. Oh, the police have told me he's never done it. And all the people in jail have told me. So all that time he written the book. I wanted a virgin schoolgirl. Dirty bastard. It shows you Fikes was not wired up right. And neither are you, Tin Fan. You're not wired up right. No wonder your own fucking daughter won't let you near the grandkids. Now I know why. No wonder your own mother won't let you in the door. She won't let him in his house. They won't let him in their houses. It's like the walking going in. Good night, John. Bye. Good night. Good night, John. Bye. Johnny Jump. Right, I'm definitely going now. Fucking hell, it's good that. Can't believe that. Just shows you it always comes out in the wash. You bastard, a bit of rum. Wow, what are you doing? Come on, stop being a dickhead. Yeah, that's it. Fucking useless for these. And my beautiful wife does all this. Come on, you're nearly there. I think you've got it. Push that off the end. Yes.